On this episode, you're going to see the fire that is on my notes section today. These guys have no clue what I hit them with. They had to comment on something random that I've wrote down over the last few months. This is a deep, valuable episode, Danny.
Yeah, rapid fire across the board, lots of different perspectives and valuable content.
As deep as this episode is, I think the real content is us deciphering Cory's notes.
Yeah.
I got some real shit going on in this head over here, Trayvon.
Yeah. This podcast is rapid fire of us talking about all sorts of shit, very stoic. But
Yes.
I want to preface this podcast with the quote I
Please.
read. I read it twice, so you know it's important. So take this in mind while listening to this podcast. The most valuable real estate in the world is the graveyard. There lies millions of half-written books, ideas never launched, talents never developed, and most people die with everything still inside of them. The way to live is to create, die empty, and get every idea out of your head and into reality.
Fucking love it.
Shout out, Derek.
Yeah, podcast brought to you by
Stoic.
Max Effort Muscle. Let's fucking go to the show. The Roundtable, I'm your boy Cory G at Small Arms, Danny at Trey Speed, and the graphic gangster himself. Don't move around.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Cole
I'm here.
Susak.
I'm in the frame.
Hey, it's brought to you by MaxEffortMuscle.com. All right. First off, Cole Susak stringing together great workouts.
Dude,
It really warms my heart that you're back in the game.
Yeah.
I know I'm back in the game. I'm feeling
feels great.
psycho.
I'm
and
back.
You're back in the game.
I'm back on creatine, and you know what? The thing is, small wins. Just keep stacking them up.
Yes.
Whenever shit's feeling good, I cut it. Whenever shit's not feeling good, I really don't even try to push it.
Yeah.
You know?
You're really winning right now.
I'm very aware of myself. Been talking to Peters a lot. Super stoic. We are stoic podcast. Super awareness.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And by the time this comes out, Danny would have already went through what he's about to go through. Danny, what do you got coming up this week?
It's called Go Ruck Selection down in Dayton area.
At the dude's house who started Go Ruck.
His dad's house, yeah.
His dad's house.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Kind of a big. I mean, it's a 48-hour challenge. We'll call it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Are you hype?
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm just ready.
Do you
for
have
it to be
butterflies?
here. Oh yeah, for sure.
Isn't that why you do it though?
Yeah.
I would never sign up for this. I don't say would never, but it definitely isn't appealing to me. But I'm excited that you're I love seeing you push yourself like that because I know there's such a small amount of people that will do this. Like it's fucking inspiring, bro.
There's only 43 signed up.
Well, there you go.
Or actually confirmed. 73 signed up. Only 43 are showing up.
Yeah.
Well, probably less than that to be honest, but yeah.
Fucking just small percentage.
Yeah.
Go fucking get it. I can't wait to celebrate with him.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Should be interesting.
So you're trying to go in very stoic with not any crazy confidence, just automatic, fucking just execution. What's your mind frame going
I don't know
in?
I don't know. The quote or saying that I don't know who said it or whatever, but I keep thinking about is when it's you don't rise to the level of your expectations, you fall to the level of your training. And so
Banger quote.
Yeah, so that's
quote banger.
Yeah, because right, I just keep telling myself you've already done all you can fucking do.
Yeah,
so
facts.
there's no point in just constantly worrying. Just make your final prep and then fucking go.
Fucking love it.
And that's all you can do.
I look forward to hearing your success on this, Daniel.
Me too. Yeah.
Trey, no shoes today. Swagged out.
No
feeling
shoes.
good. Feeling good.
Yeah.
What's happening over there?
I was just trying to get comfy. I was just walking up and down the damn stairs.
At Hoover Dam,
So
taking pictures of Dustin and those guys.
I was just trying to get nice and comfy for the podcast.
It make you want to. I know Hoover Dam's basically a dam in Columbus has a crap load of stairs, right?
Yeah,
A lot
it's
of
fucking
NFL guys when they stay in the off season, they use that to get in shape for camp. You think you'll go there and train sometime after seeing it, Trey? Did you like it or not really your thing?
Fuck no.
It looks cool. I'm sure the pictures are going to turn out
The
amazing.
pictures will be amazing, yes.
All right, so my idea today was, which none of us have talked about, by the way. I've got a gang of shit on my notes section.
Yep.
These are all for daily fires that I've never done yet. So what? And half of it makes sense, half of it doesn't make sense. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw out a line to each one of you guys just from this list, and you just tell me whatever comes to mind. So it might be a fucking mini daily fire. You might have one comment. Someone else might have a comment on it. But the plan is to just say, I'm going to throw one at Cole. I'm literally going to go boom. I'm going to throw one at Trey. If I
We're
hope,
moving on
Yeah.
from the top. Or
Yeah,
are we
and then-
moving on from
So
the topic?
this is the rapid fire.
it's kind of like a rapid fire, but if there's something that has some sauce, we can spend a little time on it.
Okay.
Like if everybody's like, Danny's like, oh,
Oh.
hold on.
Stoic.
Yes, let me
Stoicism.
hit on that
Stoicism.
point. So I think
Excerpt to my book.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So here's the other interesting thing. These are thoughts of mine probably over the last like 2 months that I haven't even addressed. So here's kind of like the context to it. I'll be lunging on the hill, attempting not to fall right now, especially with the wet grass in the morning. And if something hits me on a book or a video, I'll just literally like put down a few words so that I can come back to it, because we've been doing daily fires in like groups of like 4 or something like that lately. So it's easier for me. But I feel like this could be kind of a cool episode. All right. Oh, here we go. All right, Cole, are you
Yes.
ready?
I'm ready.
I wrote down this: believe in the end of the story. What do you
You
think?
know, I'm a big fucking story guy.
Oh, okay.
Big story guy because I view my life as like a story. Like I literally view it as like the book of Susak. Eventually, there's so many
Yes,
many
yes.
different chapters of like from middle school to high school to college.
So
Now-
many to
now-
come, too.
Yeah, now it's post grad, and I view like kind of like, all right, this is the beginning of one chapter, and I'm kind of always aware of like where I'm at in said chapter. You know,
Okay.
right now like this Max chapter is like a whole
Yeah.
open a whole new story. So I like view it as that, and I always like to think like. I always say like you gotta like write your story. Like in my mind, I'm thinking like you have to write yours. Like no one's gonna write your fucking book for you and
That's a
like
fact.
make these certain things happen for yourself. So I always kind of keep about that. And like long term wise, I'm not about like trying to make shit that's just for like the likes on Instagram. I'm trying to make shit that will like literally last a lifetime to look back on and be like, dang, some gangster shit.
So what I'm hearing from you, which is I think I picked the perfect one for you.
Yeah.
It sounds like
That was a banger. Yeah.
is that we don't know what the end of the story is, but you believe it's something great. That's
Yeah.
why. So that's why you're thinking of it like this.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know that everyone believes that, but I think that comes with the work put in. You're in the lane, like you. So you are like committed to, if I just do these chapters, that the end of the story should turn out at least how I inspire. How I hope
I
it
just
to
saw
be.
like a short clip of Matthew McConaughey. He's like giving a speech or something like that, and someone asked him the question. It's like one of his professors like, "Who is your hero?" And he thought about it. He's like, "My hero is me in 10 years." And then he goes, "So I was 25. I was like, my
I
hero."
fuck with Matthew McConaughey.
He's like, "My hero is gonna be me at 35." And then he goes, once I got to 35, I'm like, he asked the question again. He goes, my hero is like myself at 45. So it just keeps rolling and rolling. And he was basically saying like the daily shit you do, all these little like marks you have and stuff like that, it all accumulates and
Yeah.
your body works fucking, you have to believe
Is that
it.
arrogant
It'll
to
be
say?
great.
That's kind of an interesting like way to look.
Yeah.
Like my fucking hero
I
is
like
me in
that
10.
one.
My hero-
I know I do too.
Yeah.
But
No,
I'm
I-
asking myself
I
like
really
as
fuck
a
with it. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, David Goggins talks about that.
Yeah.
Like not having heroes because you're always gonna be let down.
Yeah. It's
I
true.
don't know.
Not whenever your hero is your motherfucking self.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that was his whole point.
Yeah.
It was like just rely on yourself. The other thing, real quick, just to chime
Yeah,
in.
no,
real quick.
please. That's what we're doing.
It was just weird.
It's a discussion.
Well, it was weird timing with like, cause I read the Daily Stoic in my car, like just one a day. And
Yeah.
it was kind of about this. It was talking about beginning something always with the end in mind.
Yeah.
Like having it just in your mind. You might not know exactly how it's going to turn out, but basically the day-to-day decisions, it helps you stay intentional with where you're going.
Facts.
So, I don't
yeah,
know.
I love it. Trey, anything? Good?
No.
All right. Competition mindset, Trey.
Competition mindset?
Yeah.
It's like the mindset based around just competition and everything.
Or like think about you in the vintage world, right? Are you competing to be
Well, I mean, just in
what just hits you?
So like just in general, when I hear that, what comes to mind is I always think like just competitiveness in general. Like I always want to strive to be the best at
Anything you're doing.
anything I'm doing, I want to be the best at, and I want to like literally stomp on other people's necks essentially.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's how I think. Like I want, like when I walk in somewhere and like I want to be whatever I'm doing, I want to be hands down the best person for whatever I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want it to be a question at all. And it's gonna sound
Please.
It's gonna sound mean, but like I want it to like essentially like demoralize the other people.
Fuck yeah.
I am on
You
it
need
with
that.
my fun.
You
I am
need
on
that.
it with
Yeah.
my
You
choices
fucking
today.
need that.
No, like it sounds really mean, but like I want it to like demoralize the other competition. Like when
I feel the same
think
way.
like when Michael Jordan hits a fucking game winner.
Yeah.
He's demoralizing
1,000%.
all those
to hurt.
people. That's how I want it to fucking feel.
I feel like you have to
Fuck
be
yeah.
like that at least a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
I think you have to be like that a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to be a fucking killer.
So I always think about when, and this is partly made up in my head, but I always think about when I hit something big, you know what I mean? That's like career-wise or something's going on. And I think about all the people that really love me.
Exactly, yeah.
Thinking,
Yeah.
going, this motherfucker just won't go away. And you know what? We should just quit trying because he just keeps fucking punching us in the fucking face, beating our fucking ass, and there's nothing we can do about it. And you're right. There's nothing you can do about it because I'm just fucking willing to do what most others aren't, or whatever that fucking quote is. And I like to think like, you didn't see this motherfucker coming, did you? Oh, you didn't see that one coming either. Oh, guess they just keep going. I ain't going nowhere. Like, motherfucker, pack a lunch. So that's the way I think about it. I love that, Trey.
One other thing too, I don't know, I'm just laughing about it because I'm definitely a competitive person with what I like have my focus on, I guess. But one thing our high school, like Brian will know this, but like with our high school football coach, he's like, I want our fans to get so fucking tired of clapping their hands because we scored so much.
Ooh, I fuck
Fuck
with
that.
that too.
Yeah, I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Enough said.
I do want the people that think, this is going to sound kind of fucking arrogant, that think they're on my level to realize by the daily stuff that they're seeing, by the consistent nature, by the wins, by the losses, by the content, by the fucking lifts, by blah, 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 that they just aren't. And that is the competition mindset that, like, if you really want to fuck with me or our team or whatever it is, like, you really have to go there.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really realize that that's the intention, but that is the intention.
No, yeah.
I might just not talk about it a lot.
And then so like for the people listening though that hear us saying all this stuff and they might think that we're like arrogant or something
Or mean.
or mean for like thinking or saying what we just said is, I mean, it's just all then it comes back to confidence though. I think.
Agreed.
Just to go off of that quick.
Fucking
I think.
love it.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it's
please.
like natural instinct, but to flip it again, the competitive mindset, you have to also have it with your fucking self.
Yes.
I'm always trying to.
Most of the time, it is against yourself.
Like instinctually, I'm always trying to beat myself, and in doing that, I'm demoralizing people.
Yeah.
You know, looking from the outside. But it's always like, how can I fucking make something doper? How can I push myself in the gym?
That's really
like,
what it
how
is.
can I outdog motherfucking dog? You know?
That is exactly because what Trey said, that it's not that he goes, hey, Bob, I'm demoralizing you. It's like your competitiveness against yourself. That happens because of the work that's shown with that competition mindset. I fucking love it. Man.
I'm loving this right now.
Oh, thank you.
This
Cool.
is
It's
great.
there's a lot of insight to my notes section
Are
currently.
you going to go back and do a daily fire then on these?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
for
just
sure.
making sure you
So
are
what I
going to.
do is
Yeah.
I write all these, and then as we make the daily fires, I just delete them. Your world is a mirror of you.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I think of is when I made the change, or when the change was made to come in here every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being on my own island, I loved, you know, working out, like out and about by myself.
And you did that for how many years? 5? Yeah.
Fuck, pretty much almost 5 years.
Yeah.
So, and then coming in here and being around people every single day that get it, because there's not many people I talk to about like my career or like this stuff or like even like fitness at all, or investing, financial shit. And then once that shifted, like it felt like it just went like that, like within like 2 or 3 months, like that. It was like
The guy you're looking at has changed because of that change, which, by the way, is uncomfortable compared to your old situation.
yeah,
No question.
yeah. So,
But more comfortable because you're growing.
yeah. Sorry, I have like nothing else to offer on that one.
That's a fucking banger. I mean, at the end of the day, you just recognize exactly what's been a growth, spot for you.
Yeah, it's been super obvious for me.
It's super obvious when you look in the mirror. Okay. I like it. Autopilot is the enemy of greatness.
fuck complacency.
Yeah.
Complacency is like the root of all evil, I think, because it's so easy to get caught up in what you're doing. Oh, I'm having a great routine. Fuck your routine. Change it up. I like the one thing I always think about is like the root. Like what is it? You need to own the routine. The routine can't own you.
Yeah.
I always think about that a lot.
Well, one thing I love about you too, Cole. Well, there's a lot of things I love about Cole, but is that you will follow certain patterns in your graphic art for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it bugs you because you feel complacent, and then you go searching
I just get-
for inspiration, and then you have a new pattern. And so if you look at your work over time, you can see that when that changes for the better and for the shakeup.
That also go along with the last question or topic you just read off to Danny is like, the world is a mirror of you. I try to fight against that and try to open and fucking look at all sorts of shit just because you never know what's going to happen. So like trying to become more of a well-rounded individual, different topics, different music, stuff like that. It opens everything. So I'm trying to fucking fight against like the algorithms that social media and shit gives me. I'm trying to find the hidden gems basically.
Yeah. Any other feedback on that, guys?
I don't know. I just go back to training. Like, I mean, obviously you do it all the time with all the Get Stacked programs, but just doing shit that you don't want to do. I don't know. David Goggins talks about it all the time. Like when don't do it just when it's convenient for you. Like going out and going back to rucking, but like going out when it's not ideal outside. Like go out when it's fucking 20 or when it's raining or when it's muddy. Like
I found myself liking that it was raining and I had to go lunge. Or that it was cold. Like when it was single digits, I'm like, this is going to fucking suck. But I know because I'm willing to do this that my competition's not.
For sure.
And once again, whether that's in my head or not, I think this is how I'm fucking beating them.
Yeah. And every time you recognize
We sound
it.
like psychopaths, by the way. Which
Well,
is
it's how you-
amazing.
it's how you are beating them.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just a fact, right, Trey?
Like every time you see one of those signs, you're like, it's like this, there's this green light above it, like telling you, all right, that's what you got to go do.
Yeah.
Every single time.
And that's where most people go to comfort.
Exactly.
Instead
and that's our
of-
whole fucking society. We're all built around
Comfort. The
comfort.
Comfort Crisis.
Everything. Yeah.
Which is a book, right? I haven't read that one yet, but I heard
That's
it's good.
fucking wet.
About this, Trey. For as long as it takes.
For as long as it takes.
Yep.
Man, yeah. So like, I guess it just goes up based off of like the consistency and everything. Like, just putting in the time, because it's like there's not like a time, like there's not like a timetable on everything. Like you don't know when shit's gonna happen. It's I guess the one.
Some people think there is, but
yeah,
there
yeah.
isn't.
So I guess like the easiest way to put it is the famous like graphic that a lot of people have probably seen is when the dude's mining and he stops mining when he's like right away from when he's like a little bit from the gold, and then
3 feet from gold.
Yeah, and the one dude keeps mining. So it's just about knowing like what you want, because when you know like this is the path I want to go down and everything like that, there's why would you stop?
Yeah. Well, I look at you executing currently for your eventual store.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you're going to have your store.
Yeah.
You know kind of where it's going to be at. You know exactly what inventory you want to have. You know exactly what you want. And so, but you've never said, if I don't have it by April, this is a loss for me.
Yeah, it's not a loss. It's
at
just
all.
Gonna take
Because you're just building it knowing that.
I know that eventually when the time comes that I'm like ready to pull the trigger on everything, that everything will be in place, because I just know it's gonna take as long as it takes. Like I know there's not like a time clock that I have to crunch the beat or like any of that shit. I just know when it happens it was supposed to happen.
There you go. Great outlook.
I think of nationwide. That's what I think of.
Talk about it, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, once MP shit hit the fan,
Yeah.
and then
What do you mean?
yeah, Jesus, that was a weird time.
Yeah.
And, but being at Nationwide, and then like gradually when I asked you like, is there anything I could fucking do? Like, there's got to be doing something else. And then when that gradually took shape, and then like over time, I'm like, I didn't even care like what I was getting paid or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it was just like, and then like once I finally got out of it, like I knew I was gonna be alone on my own little island for a while, but like I just like I don't know. It's probably a testament to you in communicating where the whole thing was going. Yeah, I guess, but just believing it would work out.
I think that you guys all understand this point really well now, and I think a lot of people don't. That they think they're entitled to some time frame, or they get let down when it doesn't happen in that entitled time frame. I've been there before. So then I started taking the approach of like, basically it's going to show itself when it does. I know it's coming because that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm working towards. That's what my consistency is based around. Like that it's just, but you don't know, like this building and situation, I wasn't looking for it at that exact time. No. Fuck, I was actually looking for the opposite.
You're probably trying to chill for a minute.
Fuck yeah. Of course I was. But that wasn't what happened. You know what I mean? All right. Danny, this one's a good one for you. Writing allows you to find who you are.
Yes. First thought was when the separation began with my former relationship.
Yes.
Because probably like 6 months prior to it actually like officially ending, I guess, was when I like took up like when I started to struggle was like with like the Stoicism shit, because that wasn't a part of my life at all.
Okay.
So buying that book, which is just a one a day, and then pairing that with like just like a Google Doc of writing some stuff down, basically whatever was in my head. So now there's like literally over 3 years of stuff.
You've wrote every day for almost 3 years.
No, not every day. Yeah, I wish I could say that, but that was like super therapeutic, and it allowed me to kind of like step outside of my head so I can actually be objective.
You think it allowed you to cope with the situation because it wasn't just totally renting space? You like got it out like as an exercise.
Yeah, it was like the monkey brain pretty much.
Yeah.
There was so much going on inside that like you couldn't even like really identify like what to do or how to cope with it. So like getting it out first, and then I was able to like zoom out, because then I just realized like how much had, you know, you could objectively look at the situation and then like what had happened, what actually happened, and how it even got to that point. Because like it was impossible to see unless I actually wrote down what was actually going on. And then once I could do that, then I was the process of actually working my way through it.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of just like, you know, built up emotions and stuff like that, and then it all just went.
The perspective
like
of going back and reading that now would be.
Yeah, it's gonna be unreal to check it out. I have referenced it
at
times, and it's just like, wow.
Does it fucking like punch you in the face a little bit?
It does punch me in the face a little bit, but it also feels really good because
of course, because you overcame it.
Yeah,
and you're so happy now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I still do it today.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Well, okay, then go talk about that real quick. So
I mean,
what's your kind of format?
So I mean, it kind of comes and goes in waves. So like my Google Doc is just like basically whatever's on my mind, and it could be like literally a sentence or nothing at all. And then it's just like what my workout was, what my diet was for that day. But one thing I do want to get better at is like the end of the day, so kind of debriefing what I did for the day. I've never really been big on that, but I think that would be useful. But because it is something I've actually sent a few like entries to like Linda, for example, when something is like really flowing, and like where I see like us in like 2 years or something like that, or whether it's a family or like financial goals or like where we're gonna live and stuff like that. Just it helps with just like aligning as like a couple.
Well, you're like letting her really into your brain.
Yeah, so I'm just like letting her know how I feel. I'm like, yeah, this is how I'm feeling. Are you cool with this? Like, what are you thinking? So
Rachel reads my stuff and then she goes, "You really are fucking crazy." Got anything to say on that, Cole? You write much?
No, but I want to.
Yeah, so I always feel that way too. Like I only really write a lot because Danny writes it.
Yeah.
Because if not, I record it. Danny obviously transcribes it, or we have the service that does it, or I wouldn't. But I love the act of getting those thoughts out.
Well, one thing that is like, one thing to keep in mind is like, I don't know, it's going to be hard at the beginning. It's going to be hard, especially if you're not someone who writes at all.
Yeah.
So like, even if it's like a fucking
or can write,
or if you just if it's even like there's like the 5-minute journal out there where you just literally write for 5 minutes, like completely raw, unedited.
Yeah.
No matter how stupid it sounds or the punctuation's fucked up or something like that.
I don't even use punctuation.
Yeah. But just getting that going, and then it's gonna start to get a little bit easier over time. It's just like with anything.
So I'll reference the reason why I started kind of journaling off and on anyway was from my friend Todd Crawford, my best friend from back home. His grandfather, I know I've talked about this before, but wrote every day what was going on at the farm for like 50 years. It's unbelievable. Like he has like milk crates full of Mead notebooks. He can go back to 1976, what the weather was, where they were cropping, what was who stopped by the farm. They're only like 3-4 sentences, but it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he literally can get an insight into so much of what was, and that farm's like a 2-generation farm. So it's just really interesting. It's like inspiring.
Well, one thing I think about too, like my brother is like really into like family tree and like family history and stuff like that. Like he's got it like down, like and like done all his research and stuff. Cause like my grandpa at one point was like a VP at a lumber mill. And then like,
I remember you telling me this.
On the other side of his family, which this company is still around in the brewery district, Lang Stone. So they have a stone company. And so I'm like, I didn't even know that was theirs. Yeah. Like it was, but like my point is like, I wish there was more of a, a paper trail left behind for like my grandpa. Cause like he was like famous for his like storytelling abilities. So like, I just wish there was more of that. So I want to be able to give that to.
Oh, you will.
I'm really thinking that I need to start like journaling at least some and like reflecting on some like milestones or like stuff like that.
You will. I'm telling you, you will forget it. And you guys don't post very often. Yeah. So I can go back through my MP days and a little bit right as it's social media and go, oh, I remember that. I remember this. You definitely need to.
I need to, especially if like I'm going to write a book of Susac one day.
Think about this too, Cole. The transcription service is extremely cheap. Yeah. You could look, how much does it cost for a 10-minute thing, Danny?
Fuck, I don't know. It was like
$10? Is like $1 a minute or something?
Yeah, I mean,
it's inexpensive for what you get.
Like that, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is like
especially if it's audio, not video, it's really cheap.
Yeah, so that's something to think about.
Just voice memo.
Cole, you're more capable than you think.
The first thing that comes to mind is like you can't put like limits on yourself. Like obviously, like growing up, probably had every reason like to not be here, but I never like told myself like I'm stuck. Like in any situation.
Did anybody around you ever try to keep you in a box at all? Or is this kind of you?
I feel like I'm a really good observer and like observing things. I just noticed that a lot of people cap themselves and they would like try to expand that. And there was like certain like small-minded things I would catch up on that like, because coming to the city, my brother lived in the city. I got to see more and I knew there was more going on. Then going back home, I would start to hear things and see things that like limited them. And I just ultimately knew. Like,
you didn't subscribe to it.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling that,
Was there anything where you, a milestone that you hit that then perpetuated that belief even more? Because then, because when you hit certain things, you go, well, fuck, if I got here, I should be able to get there. Anything that stands out?
I would say, like, I would think with football, like the first time, like I like was like all conference or whatever like that. Yeah. Because I knew I put in so much work, and I like again am undersized for like my position, like all that stuff. I knew like then there was like really no level like to that. Yeah. But then like one thing that just really like hit me that made me think like I am capable of much more and like can do more with life was whenever I transferred and like all the people who I grew up around like started to like basically talk shit about me. I'm like, I'm trying to go like fucking better myself and like you hate on me. Yeah. So then I'm like, so then that's where I'm like fuck this. You know?
Yeah. So that really right there was kind of like a fucking, it kind of lit it up a little. It made you litty to get better.
It made me think like, dude, there's fucking 500 people in this town. Like, fuck, like
what the fuck am I doing?
Why the fuck do you care what I'm doing? You know? Yeah.
Yeah. But they care.
Yeah. And that's where I go back to Trey. I just want to fucking stomp on their throat.
Yeah. So good. You got any feedback on that, Trey?
Yeah, that's a good one.
It was good. All right, Trey, no handouts.
No handouts? I would say, yeah, so no handouts. So, yeah, I mean, it's just like about not expecting anything in life from anybody.
Anyone. Yep.
And having zero expectations. Like I think we've talked about before previously, like I just don't have no expectations for anything we're doing or any person like ever, because and then I don't know. There's just no like. There's I guess back to the stay on track with the handouts. Thing. Stay on track with the handouts thing.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever gonna people unless you're like a fucking trust fund baby or something.
They're not saving you.
Nobody's saving you.
Yes.
Nobody's saving you.
I know you've been thinking this way forever. That's why I thought this was perfect.
Nobody
for
like
you.
so nobody's saving you. Like nobody's gonna if you're late on bills or some shit. Nobody's gonna help you.
Mommy.
Yeah. unless like obviously you're a trust fund baby or some shit.
Yeah.
But that's not fucking happening for a lot of people.
It's not reality for anybody, really.
No. So it's just there's no fucking handouts. Don't expect anything in life.
I just realized pretty young no one was putting me on.
Yeah.
And even when I got traction, they wasn't putting me on. Because then I started to make people nervous that I was going to expose them, whether it was the work, whether it was the consistency, whether it was my talent. I don't know. But I remember feeling like just in scenario, like, motherfucker, I know you know I got it. Like, I know you could help me in your position, but there's something, the reason why you're not. And it's not because I'm not good at what I do. Like, I would feel those things in certain areas, and I started to realize no one's going to fucking save me. I got to save my fucking damn self. And that.
Yeah, so you just put yourself on.
Exactly. Like I always talk about, I was knocking on the door, no one was answering, built my own fucking house. And that's it.
Well, you always say earn, not given.
It's true.
I mean, that's
I didn't want it.
Resonates with me.
Exactly. That's why, like, anytime like I'm showing you guys love, I always say that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not doing it because I'm just doing you a favor. I'm doing it because you fucking earned whatever that metaphorically is that we're talking about. Mm-hmm. It's because you've been busting your ass, and I showed I'm just trying to do a better job of explaining how much I value it, because I know this is not normal. This is a completely, like, we are making up our reality right now because of this fucking gangsterness that we got going on, and it's fucking sick. All right, next. Who's up? I forget. I did no handouts. All right. Oh my gosh, this is so fun.
We should all take a turn doing this.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. I got it. Someone is always watching.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I think of is, I mean, it always goes back to training. I feel like 90% of my training is at night, or not at night, or
but you train by yourself most
in the
of the
morning.
time.
Yeah.
So who's watching?
Yeah.
Danny?
Yeah, exactly. Like, one thing that I always do, like, that I implemented a while ago is, like, just never giving myself the benefit of the doubt.
I like that.
So just, like, you can always do that extra lap, that extra rep, that extra whatever it is. Because in the end, it's just fucking hurting you if you're not going to do it. So if you don't put in the work, you're not going to fucking succeed.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that.
I always think about when I'm at the track in the morning or something, and really nobody's watching. But I always think, like,
that one old lady that's walking might be.
Yeah. That's what I always think. I always think, like, what if that one car that drove by looked down at the track right when I took my fucking
right when I didn't touch my knee.
Yeah, right when I didn't take my fucking break or some shit.
Yeah.
Or I think, since I live downtown, and I leave my blinds open during the day because of the sunlight.
Sure.
So I think there's probably really nobody's really looking into my apartment, creeping on me. But I like to think, though, like, what if that one motherfucker, if they're in the hotel room, looked down and I was fucking passed out on the couch?
Yeah. And it was 11.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, the other thing I think about too is just, like, in the work realm, like, just like with, like, being complacent. Like, it's easy to not do something. It's easy to just kind of coast by and do the bare minimum. So just acting like someone's over your shoulder. So just, I don't know, that kind of serves as a push for me to, like, better my skill set or to learn something new. Yeah,
because even if it's a metaphor, like somebody's watching, it's really you watching, putting. Like,
well, yeah, because, like, the fucking, you know, like the emo marketing, or, like, if something needs done, it like, I'm like, if I don't do this, no one's gonna say anything. Like,
or even know it needs done.
Yeah, or
you're the one that knows it's your lane.
Yeah, but I'm like, A, it needs to get done, and B, it's gonna fucking do something great for the business.
Absolutely.
Short and long term. So
everything cool.
I just think back, like, I always think about, like, younger kids, because I know whenever I was younger, I was looking up to, like, you and, like, your stuff and, like, other individuals, even, like, because like every third grade, like, football player is watching what the fucking high school kids are doing.
Of course.
They're always watching.
They're like superstars too.
So I always try to keep that stuff in mind, because then I think it also gives you, it adds to your pressure to outdo yourself and perform and make sure like you're always at a high standard because, you know, you don't want to set a bad look for a younger dude.
Yeah,
you know?
it creates more accountability.
Yeah.
So I always think like, and this is part of why I love the website so much, is that just like the thing we're doing now, the 19 days to Shred Town or whatever, like we just made up and it's fun, but it's like a tight push to try to do something that I wasn't doing before. And it's like, once again, if I don't start that, does anyone say, hey, why haven't you started the 19 days of Shred Town?
Exactly.
No, of course not, right? You know what I mean? But I think that
That sounds great.
it's fucking amazing. And the graphics fucking just dead on.
Yeah.
So, but it's more about I'm accountable to the community to keep a level of consistency up that has only pushed me to be much better, like at everything, right? I'm accountable to keep what I believe a certain level of strength or push to get better, of a look, of all of that, right? I like that pressure because I want to try to be the best version of myself. So I always think like there's a lot of motherfuckers watching. Now I could also be done if I want. I just could be. But and fucking ride and do whatever, but that's not really my nature. And I'm not inspiring anybody that way.
No.
I want to inspire people. Like I want to be able to, it's the man in the arena thing, right? That somebody, that could be the first time they ever went to the game. The first time they ever went to that track. First time they ever looked at that graphic. The first time they ever saw me lift. Like you want to fucking show up. And I don't think people even really process that on a regular basis, to be honest.
No.
Because you get out of that routine. Because you are coasting. I just think that, but
It's
that
fucking
also
easy, yeah.
allows you to be mediocre.
Yeah. I think it was a Michael Jordan, I think, who said, like, you're just going to play every game because someone could have spent their last dollar to come see him play.
To be in the nosebleed.
To be
And
in the
that's what was
nosebleed,
happening.
To see fucking Michael Jordan play.
Because he was so great.
Yeah.
That, I mean, I remember,
And what if he was soft and then come out and play that night?
yeah, and then you're like let down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. All right, back to Cole Susak.
This is great, by the way.
You like it?
Yeah,
I thought
this
you guys would like
This is a great format.
Oh, thank you. Well, it took
Feeling
me like
this.
3 months to put all this together,
feeling
so
this. Yeah.
I don't know how often we can do it.
Yeah.
but- oh, the bill still comes due.
Shit, I just think you gotta fucking, you gotta make it happen. I just think here and that there's certain things that are going to happen that eventually will happen, and I guess like you gotta do your best to get fucking prepared for it.
It's almost like a procrastination, I think, tag
Yeah.
too. That it's coming. Why not attack it head on and just not let the anxiety build up? Like just go get it.
Yeah, it's easier to fucking jump straight at things than to wait and contemplate and then put yourself in a hole.
Run right at it.
Yeah, fucking attack it.
Yeah. Because I know when I would not do that stuff, it rents just enough space where I don't really think like it creates a crazy anxiety, but it's there. And then when I think they call it eat the frog too, which I don't know where that came from, but like I've heard that where it's like you do the hardest shit first in the day. So then it's not, renting space. It's certain tasks like me, anything paperwork related, I'm like procrastination to the fucking max because it feels so uncreative and unlike me. But it's shit I have to do. So I'll fucking taxes, any of that shit I fucking hate it all, which I think everyone does. But I like really fucking hate, like you send me a fucking 5-page document, I won't read it for like fucking a long time. Because it just, even though it won't take that long, it's like my brain doesn't work that way. Anyway, anything else on that? You guys good? Trey, time. We always think we have more.
Yes.
You're a young dude, me asking you this, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think we talked about on the one previous podcast, where we talked about how you don't really. So like, you could say like when you die, your life is at 100%.
Yeah.
So like you don't know where you're at on the percentage thing.
Yeah. You don't know where your charge is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so like today it could be like 99%, and you're done today, and you just don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, time. There's as much as we always say there's a lot of time and there's more time in life, and you're young and all that kind of shit too. But on the other spectrum of it though is it could be over like that though too.
Yeah.
So I think
Cole's got something.
I got
something too.
I mean, it's just about keep going and pushing, and every single day living life to the fullest, because
Yeah.
it could be it.
Yeah.
So
real quick.
You want it? Okay, I'll go.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, so I just listened to Goggins again on the audio, and he talks about, like, I think it's at the very end of the book, and he like talking about like if you were to die and you're like waiting at the gates to get into like heaven.
Yeah.
And so like it's your turn to be interviewed by God. And
Yeah.
basically he pulls up this big sheet of paper, and it's like all the shit you were supposed to be.
Oh yeah, I fucking love that part of that book.
It's like all the shit you're supposed to be, and he's like, I want to have that bitch filled, and I want him to have to keep filling in stuff as I'm living my life out. I'm like, fuck. That's like
fucking good.
Yeah, it was
That's putting out, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so this quote kind of goes along with this. The most valuable real estate in the world is the graveyard. There lies million of half-written books, ideas that never launched, talents never developed, and most people die with everything still inside them. The way to live is to create, die empty, and get every idea out of your head and into reality.
Who's that?
Derek Sivers.
Screenshot that and send it to us.
It's fucking
By the
great.
way, that's what regret looks like to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah.
And I made my mind up that way a long time
That's
ago.
that's where like I kind of like, it's good to reflect on like stuff you've done. Like if I am at 99%, like the fucking guess that covers the shit that's already been done.
Yeah.
Although there's much more potential to go. Like I think it would be.
Yeah. But there's shit in the world that people can't deny.
Yep.
Yeah.
People need to go listen to his old interview with Tim Ferriss. It's like one of the best podcasts I've ever listened to.
Yeah, I need to check it out.
Yeah.
Read that one more time, Cole.
All right.
Let's drop some knowledge. Run that back.
Run it back. All right. Fucking take notes.
Yeah.
All right. The most valuable real estate in the world is the graveyard. There lies millions of half-written books, ideas never launched, talents never developed, and most people die with everything still inside of them. The way to live is to create, die empty, and get everything out of your head and into reality.
Yeah. I fucking love that. That's why I love fucking creating content.
Put it on the table.
You just get a chance to like get it all out. That's why I think like talking about chapters, right? One of my next chapters I think is this stuff, like at a high level. Books. Like I look at guys like Tim and Ryan and all these dudes that are killing it, and I see and James Clear, and I'm like, I just need more reps. I just need more stuff. I know I have a level of stuff with my experiences and ups and downs and all these reps that like I have something to majorly contribute. I've known that about myself probably since the first time I did Barbell Shrugs podcast. And so these last 10 years, that's what I've been practicing for. All of the writing, all of the fucking podcasts, the books, the half-written books, which we're going to finish. Like all of this stuff has been like, that's why this room is here. Other than you guys couldn't do graphics beside the gym, but but you know what I'm saying? Like, but the intention was to be able to cultivate this entire thing, and off of what you just said. That's why I wanted to build it, 100%. All right, I think we're almost done. But that was where did I end at? That was back to you. Where did we? That was. Fuck, we see great conversation. We don't even know what
Just throw it out.
That was a no handouts thing, I think. All right.
Either Trey or me, I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, here we go. This is just good. This is open
Good talk.
conversation. Thank you, Daniel. I got fucking. Let me get my fucking foot out of my mouth. I knew what you were going.
I didn't say anything.
What you acquire is not who you become. I think where this thought came from was a lot of people think the material items kind of make them. And I think that it's easy to get wrapped up into that. And I think you should maybe like to acquire things, like if you're into stuff, right? But at the end of the day, that's really not you. Like you shouldn't only be as good as your car or your watch or your fucking gear.
Especially if you're going in debt for it.
There you go, Trey. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think it's easy to get caught up in that. And I've always wanted like super nice things, right? But then once I achieved a lot of them, you realize that like, it's just a car.
Yeah.
It's just a watch. Yes, it was a shiny thing that you try to progress to be able to attain, but that really doesn't really this type of stuff is more valuable than that type of stuff ever will be. But I think it's hard to maybe it's a lot of people go, well, it's easy for you to say, gee, your daily is a fucking Rolls, right? Okay, so that's easy for me to say. But I also can tell you that I get almost excited to drive a Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
Not quite, but close. Because I have like a personal, like that was the first nice car I ever owned, was the fucking 97 Land Cruiser. Like to me, it's almost as exciting. Mm-hmm. So it's really not a value, a dollar. It's like, it's a kind of to Trey's point when he has some of his clothing. It's like that emotional attachment. Sentimental value. There you go. Love that. Jinx. So I think that people need to, this is just my own opinion, aspire to have things maybe that you've always dreamed of, but realize that one, there's no finish line. It doesn't like, there isn't like trumpets and doves flying when you get them. It's, and really it wears off, maybe it does wear off faster than an impact on somebody or helping some, like it's just like it's a different
and
mindset.
Those things should represent something though.
Yes.
You shouldn't have them and every time you look at them you're like, I'm rich now.
Yeah.
You should look at them and they give you some sort of sentimental value, something, you know, it might have been the work that you put in to get there, the perseverance through life, and you know what I mean, all that kind of, like they should represent something.
Well, it represents me at a level of operation.
Yeah.
That's why I try to explain to some people when they ask me about stuff, I'm like, there's an expectation of how I want my life to be able to continue to operate this way. And if I get in with a fucking, you know, X amount mentality, I shouldn't be operating like this. And eventually that will go away if I continue to. So I think it's a representation of how hard it was to get there, but also what the expectation is to continue, the continuation of it, right? Because then when you get, because I remember Kevin Kramer, who's one of my friends, he's a car dude at Coughlin, he said, bro, where do you go from here? And I was like, yeah, you're kind of right. Now it's just like, this is just normal. But if I want it to be normal, there has to be an expectation of myself to be normal. So I just think that was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I just think about like when I was looking for a car. And like it never, and this was, I don't even know what mentality it was. It was like I was like felt undeserving. Like I couldn't, like I didn't deserve that for some reason. I don't know if it was just how I was brought up or like not to like go after flashy items or something like that. And then once you said, hey, just go look.
Just go test drive one.
Just go test drive one.
I knew he was fucked.
Yeah. But then then when you really just step back and think about it, you're like, why the fuck am I thinking this way?
Yeah, it's you're capping yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's different if you're just not like, if you just don't like it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's also what you're into.
But then having to earn it every fucking day.
I like that mentality.
That's what I like. That's what I got a lot from you when you said like, I can't drive this unless I go lunge my 800.
Yeah, and that clip of 800 when I first got the Rolls, before, you know, that was like led up to when I got hurt. That is the biggest and nastiest and strongest I ever looked.
Powerful.
It was very powerful. So what are you thinking of there, Cole?
Stoic Cole.
Honestly, like what's coming to my mind, I guess, like can you read it again?
Yeah, what I wrote, which I said what you acquire is not who you are or who you become.
I'm thinking of like in a different way where like some people in their job and stuff, they think that what position they're at is like who they are. They get attached to.
There you go.
They get attached to the feeling of like, just because I'm not at like an executive level or a manager level, that I'm not like deserving or like you feel lower on the totem pole, when in like that has nothing to do with like the type of person. Like, are you like a great fucking guy? Like, are you accountable? Like all this other stuff. Like you can't limit that just because where you're at job wise.
Because in the corporate environment, they said like, you're here, not here.
Yeah. So like,
I like that.
For some reason, that's coming to my mind.
Well, because I think people will devalue themselves, even though they might be a cold killer outside the office, and they just haven't got that chance yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, just because that person hasn't said that you're X, that doesn't mean.
And then like, just think about this: the people who are probably executives, they're probably terrible people. Some of them are like out like doing dumb shit, you know, like cheating on their fucking like wives and like stuff like that. Like you don't like, that's who not you're
just because of that.
Yeah. Just because they're at that title doesn't mean that you're any less than them.
Yeah. I like that.
That's just coming to my mind.
No,
you know?
But that's good. That's a whole nother perspective of it, which is because I think everybody gets so categorized in that, like, I used to like just tell myself like, I got way more pop than at this spot right now. Like, what the fuck am I doing with myself? Like, you know, I'm not a fucking $30,000 guy. I'm a fucking 100 racks guy. I'm a fucking 100, you know, I would tell myself like these things like, yeah, I might be in this spot right now, but that's not me. That's not fucking like, I'm not cool with that. I'm telling you, I remember sitting in my trailer telling myself I was meant to do big things. That's how it all started. Gee, you're too big for this fucking situation. You're too big for this mentality you're around. You are not meant to live this way. It's just a fucking fact. And the basis on that, I'm not sure, but I just knew like it wasn't me.
So
I always felt that way.
How do you teach somebody that? Or what do you say?
I don't know. So,
because like, I mean, that's hard for a lot of people that like are brought up.
I believed it wholeheartedly too. And I think,
but why?
I think it had to come through maybe it's just watching hardship stuff growing up. Maybe I started to make this narrative in my head that this just wasn't a long-term situation for like the next generation. Like I think I started literally thinking about like, this is one chapter, but this ain't my book. Like this is fucking someone else's choice.
For real.
And it just wasn't my choice. I was going to choose something else. And I think when it's so wild because I remember like I remember when I had these thoughts, I couldn't drive yet. I was pretty young, but I just remember thinking like, I know I can't do anything about it right now, but I was like, I'm going to be able to. And then what it's, you know, matured into is like further than I could even grasp at any fucking given time. And my whole family thinks the same thing. My immediate family, you know, they're just like, how could we have ever thought that even these opportunities would have even came? You know, no one thought that way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just remember thinking like, I don't know where the fuck it came from. I think half sports. I remember putting a ton of time in sports, a ton of time in lifting, but I didn't get like unbelievable results. So I think some of this was fictitious confidence, just that what was possible. That was one thing I kept hanging on, that there has to be better decision making and with the work that I understand that could mature into something greater than this situation. Like I just kept thinking to myself, my mom is killing herself to help us survive. But the reality is like, there's got to be more. Mm-hmm. There has to be more out here. So I don't know. That's fucking deep.
That's helpful. That's helpful insight.
Yeah. All right. I think we'll wrap it up. It's good stuff, huh?
Yeah.
See, I just got up today. I was like, hey, thank you, Cole. I thought it was a good idea.
It's fire.
See, I told you my daily fire's coming, bro.
Dude.
They are fire. All right. I'm your boy, Cory G, at Small Arms Danny, at Trey Speed, and the graphic gangster himself, Cole Susak. This is the Roundtable. We're out.